across the morning sky. Feel what's on the wind. Find the perfect water and hope the day won't end. Tune into the outside from the inside once again. Listen to the thunder and watch an eagle soar. We call it living inside the great outdoors. Inside the great outdoors.
Good morning. This is Joe Castaway Coolis. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors on a dreary Sunday morning, but it'll get better sometime. And you are?
I is. Dr. Norm still. Kind of rainy out there. Man, watch those roads. There's really a lot of potholes all of a sudden. I don't know what happened. Ground must have
it's
shifted.
the freezing and the thawing, and they do the little remedies that don't last.
But there were some big ones, and on 480, on 71, there were potholes. I couldn't believe it, and you don't see them, of course, in the morning until you're right on top of them, and boom,
then it's too late. You can't swerve.
No, so be careful.
And
Right on time.
exactly.
I saw this
Carl.
white flash go by.
Yeah.
Big Daddy Bachtel.
Well, with the road constructions, you have to
I
leave
just got
a
up late.
Did you?
I didn't get up late. I just left late.
Yeah, I
The
left
coffee
regular.
tasted really good
and
this morning.
Kind of went out of my way. I thought, oh shoot, I can't go this way, and so I just got here too. So, but you doing okay?
Yeah.
Everything good at work?
No. You kidding me?
So the lanternfly, boy, ticks. So I'm feeling on my scalp. I got a little tick. So I got off. Then yesterday, boy, does my wrist itch so much. That one was embedded. The big. That's the which. What are the big ones?
Oh, it's probably a female tick.
Really?
Yeah, they get really fat.
Oh, but the big tick is the deer.
No, no, they're
is-
little.
The little one is the deer tick. Okay.
Well, it depends. You can have a little dog tick.
Oh, could you?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
And they're probably what you're getting are dog ticks out by you, but
Yeah.
I can't say without seeing them.
Yeah, the guy up the street this week, between him and his wife and their dog, 15 ticks.
Oh yeah, I told you early about I'm seeing them in short grass out by my mailbox. I couldn't believe it.
Well, I cut the grass one
And the
day.
girl next door to me, she had them 2 weeks before I saw them.
Wow. Well, I was only outside one day dealing with this stupid kidney stone baloney, so I've been living on the couch. But the one day I go out to cut the grass, I picked up 2 of them. Otherwise, I
And
guess
they're in short grass areas, like I said last week.
Yeah.
Cut your grass to like 3 inches. You may want to cut it shorter if you can.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Now my buddy did spray stuff where the dog is, and it didn't help. So he's gonna have to.
Well, that dog's going all over the place. You know?
Well, no, they had an area roped off or fenced off, and they sprayed that area, but it
I wonder what he sprayed.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so watch it, people. The ticks are really, really bad this year, this early. So, have you been seeing any, Carl?
No, I only get tox.
What?
TikTok.
Oh. Well, with work, you're going all over the place.
Yeah.
And
That's
when you
me.
isn't most of your stuff outside?
Not really.
Oh no.
It's hard to get ticks in a 6-hour school board meeting, but
Oh.
the only tick I get is a nervous tick.
Oh.
from the stress and the burnout. But
is it getting that bad, huh? Oh,
that's okay.
Hopefully you can retire.
I don't want to talk about it.
Good. Okay, we won't.
Good.
Even though you yelled at me last week.
I didn't yell at you.
No, you just yelled.
No.
So did you fish?
Yesterday.
In that rain?
Mm-hmm. Why
wow,
not?
You're tough, buddy.
Fish are already wet.
You are tough.
Nah.
How was it?
Wet.
And the fishing? How was the catching?
Slow.
Was it?
It was fair, but it was slow.
Because of the cold?
No.
Temperatures or?
Fish are just moving around in pockets, and sometimes they stay in a spot. Sometimes they just move around. But they're, you can still catch them. The guys using minnows were doing better than the guys using plastics.
Oh.
But I still caught like 15.
Yeah. Well, because we had 1.5 inches of rain in about a half hour, and my ponds are all flooded, and oh, what a mess. Man, that was, and we had that pretty strong wind and rain just a few days before that. But that was really, wow, never seen the ponds looking like that. Is that, with those heavy rains, though, how long does it take for fishing to kind of get back down to normal? Couple days?
It depends.
Depends how much it runs off.
Depends on a lot of things. A lot of runoff, a lot of temperatures, a lot of
unless
pressure.
you get more rain.
What about
sunny or cloudy? There's so many different factors that go in. You can't put a time frame on it. You just got to go fish and figure it out.
What about when it's so muddy? Can you catch fish if
Sure.
it's really just need? You were talking last week, vibration.
Vibration or something.
Because they got to eat.
Yep.
But how about them Indians?
Who?
Cleveland Indians.
Oh, you
Guardian.
mean
I thought, okay, it's the 8th inning. I'll watch they had 2 hits. They had 1 hit at that time. And guy comes up and hits a home run. And, oh, well, at least they got on the scoreboard. 2 outs, 2 strikes, bottom of the 9th. So they whittled away. They got the bases loaded, and they hit a grand slam home run. Oh, 5-3 they won. That was really good. That was nice to see. And then just quickly with the Kentucky Derby, I just happened to look at the watch because they said it was going to be just before 7.
the sport of kings?
Yeah. All of the interesting facts, all of the horses in the race are descendants of Secretariat. He, through propagation, has had 660 kids through, with the same.
Sounds like Genghis Khan.
Gee, was that? Do you have a lot of
Started his own
children?
country.
Oh, most of us have some lineage through Genghis Khan.
You're kidding.
No,
Really?
really.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, look at your eyes. Look at your ears. What do you think, Carl?
Why?
He propagated a lot of children.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And the other interesting fact, a very nice thing about the race, half of the jockeys went and congratulated the winner. I thought that was so nice. It was his first time he ever won a race. And 10 of the other riders came up and congratulated him. Why are they normally from South America? Because they're small, short? Why is, I guess almost every, I think there were some Japanese.
Better riders.
Pardon?
They're better riders, and it's a horse society down there.
Oh, they're better riders?
Well, they grow up with them,
So do you have any idea what makes a good jockey?
Size.
If it's all about size, then the Bushmen of the Kalahari
Yeah.
and the Pygmies would all be jockeys, and they're not. It's
So
not a horse society.
So is it knowing
Back in the old days, the English and the French, they had jockeys. They weren't from South America. They were all European because that's where it was.
Oh, okay.
You know, but the horse, you know, the Spanish had horses for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
They've had jockeys. I mean, it's just
Spanish
depends.
brought the horse
Exactly.
to America.
Okay. So does a good jockey know when to push the horse or how?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
That's
timing.
in their life. That's in their blood, really.
So they feel the horse
Mm-hmm.
and know what he's. And the other nice thing is he was in the hospital. He only got out 3 weeks ago, figuring the owner's going to say, "Don't worry about it." He let him ride, which was nice, because he could have said, "You're not well enough" or whatever. So
Me and Norm are jockeys.
sorry.
We're jockeys.
Yes, we are.
We let him ride every week.
That's right.
Oh, what I put up with. The mental anguish that you cause is insurmountable at times. Let's go to the phone.
We gotta beat him
Yeah.
sometimes.
Take that little
Take the
whip.
stick.
Yeah.
Good morning, Jim.
Doctors,
How's it going? You sound good.
Sound better every week.
happy International Dawn Chorus Day.
That's right.
Now, I said something last week I want to clarify. I don't want people to take it out of context. When I'm got the radio on, which is usually 24/7, and I hear a bumper music song that has the hook, line, and sinker in it, and that's what you need for a good song, I grab my banjo. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the night. I got to see if I can find it on that instrument. So when I said I'll get that song out, even if I have to poison the bird seed, that's what I meant. I don't want people to take me out of context.
No
and
problem.
I wanted to clarify that up. Now, I did find, in the medical moment here, I did find what was wrong with the bottom of my foot.
Oh,
And it's called plantar fasciitis.
Plantar fasciitis.
yeah.
Yes, that's what I have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a common thing with athletes to overstress the bottom of their foot, and it's starting to go away. It was very painful at first. I mean, I could hardly walk on it, but it's improving every day, and I just did too much too fast, I guess. So that's the only two things I have. Earl Scruggs, he always said, it's not what you play, it's what you leave out. And I think that Carl does that a lot. He knows when to make his words count. Okay, so anyways, he says you got to have a hook, line, and sinker in a tune to have a catch to it. So that's what I do. I play those songs that all have hook, line, and sinkers, and I thought that was kind of neat.
Very good.
So you guys have a happy International Dawn Chorus Day.
Okie dokie.
We will.
Thanks, Jim.
See you, Jim. Okay. He told you, Carl.
I guess.
I don't know.
I think that was a compliment.
I think so too. It didn't sound
in
starting
kind of
out.
a backdoor way.
Yeah, a back doorway. It didn't start out that way, but it ended that way.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Oh, I thought that was the start of the race. That's pretty cool. That big trumpet the guy plays at the start. There's no keys on it. He just does it with his lips. I thought that's pretty cool to be able to play that song without, a regular trumpet has 3 valves. And there's no
Different kind of
valves on
trumpet.
that thing. It's pretty cool. And he's been doing it. A lot of neat things. He's been doing it for 30 years. Same guy. Wow. But that was cool.
Sounds like
seeing-
you.
Yeah. Oh. Can't wait
Where
till
are your
it's-
keys?
where are my keys? Can't wait till tomorrow. Get things straightened out, I hope, anyway. But what a miserable week.
Well, you had 2 ticks on you. You got to leave the catheter in somewhere.
It came out on its own.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, man, was that scary. What called the doctor? He said that's
sitting there
okay.
watching the Indians.
Yeah.
He hit a home run, and Joe went, yes! And it went, what was that?
Yeah, that was scary. I thought, uh-oh. I thought it broke. It didn't seem that long, but it came out. So anyways, he said it's okay. So we'll see. I hope he doesn't put it back tomorrow, but got to get this. But I wanted to work on the garden. Well, I got to start thinking about the cornfield pretty soon. Boy, it's so wet though. Got to get into that field, and it looks like
Not for a while.
Don't worry about it, Joe.
I do not worry like I did.
Don't sweat it.
No, like I sell the stocks. Well, if the stocks are late, I guess I won't sell them. That's all.
There you go.
You know, so I'm trying to look at things differently, which isn't easy, but, the other thing
how I look at things? Like this.
Yeah. The other thing.
Mañana.
Yeah.
Mañana.
What I look at now, I got my watch. Okay.
You got your watch?
Yeah, I got my watch. And I look and I think, here's the stuff I've got to do. Here's the stuff I got to do. Is it really that important? I know, Carl, it's time for a break, but I wanted to finish my train of thought or I'd forget it. So we'll take a short break. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. Sunday morning. We'll be back.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell.
Whether you're a novice or a well-seasoned angler, if you want that extra edge in catching more fish, you want one of the many species of Kodiak scent. Made from real bait fish, Kodiak fishing scents are made from pure freeze-dried bait. Freeze-drying enhances the scent considerably, making it the most potent fishing scent available to the fishermen today. It comes in many flavors, including shad, crayfish, salmon egg, and the most popular, minnow. Add the paste to your lures, it really sticks. And when a fish hits, it doesn't let go. And if you use tube jigs, try the tube injector. This handy syringe is made especially to be inserted into a tube jig. Kodiak fishing scents are now available online at Castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K.com. If you want to catch fish, you want Kodiak from Coulis.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors on a Sunday morning. A little cloudy. A little chilly yesterday.
A little rainy.
Yeah, rained all day.
Well, the birds didn't mind.
No.
Lots of birds out.
Birds are all over the place.
Are they?
Baltimore Orioles are back.
Yeah, that's what I
They're
hear.
all over.
I did
Boy,
buy
I
the.
haven't seen them. I put my Oriole feeder out, and my hummingbirds not around. My Baltimore Orioles not around.
I did go buy the grape jelly. I did buy another feeder because the other one was getting pretty old and faded. Almost didn't even look orange anymore. I thought, well, so I bought a new. I didn't get. I didn't do much this week, but I'll put it out this week, and probably try that. I did last year. I didn't put the hummingbird feeder out because they weren't coming around. But no. The problem was all the yellow.
You know why
jackets.
they hum, don't you?
Because they don't know the words.
No, it's their wings. I was being serious, Joe.
Oh, you were?
I'm a serious guy.
Yeah, we're right. Yeah, right. Very serious. Oh, so explain that.
What?
So it's their wings that make the hum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why they call them hummingbirds?
Yeah.
They had a picture of a nest of a hummingbird.
As big as your thumb.
The
like
whole
a
nest,
thimble.
yeah. The eggs were like a piece of rice. Gosh. You ever see a nest?
Our predecessor, Reno J. Rita, used to talk about having to band hummingbirds with his giant sausage fingers.
Oh, my gosh.
I couldn't imagine.
Wow. I wonder how they catch them.
Hummingbird banding in nets.
They got to be very careful.
Mist nets.
Okay.
That's how they catch all the birds for banding them.
Wow.
They're pretty tough little critters.
Oh,
though,
yeah.
You know, they're tough little.
They're mean, too.
Yeah.
If you have more than one at a feeder and they get into a fight about it, ooh,
So this new feeder I bought, which I think I'll
swoop
like.
down and you hear them hit. They
Really?
hit each other really hard.
When I was in British Columbia hunting bear one spring, they had feeders out. There were hundreds. There's this feeder, and it was like wasps. Amazing how many, hummingbirds, which would have been in May, like later May.
They're really neat little critters.
Yeah.
There's more species out there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they
Every
seem
once in a
bigger.
while,
I
there's,
could have been my imagination.
We get a lot of ruby throats around here, but every
Right.
once in a while, one of the Anna's hummingbirds comes
Yeah.
in. And they're
Well,
a
you
little
sure know a
different
lot
looking.
about birds.
Oh, yeah.
Boy. So this new feeder I got, that was the trouble. The yellow jackets get into the sugar water. So this new one just has little slits where the hummingbird will feed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if that's going to be better. So I'm hoping it will be. But is the coloration important, Doc? The red?
No.
Not really.
You're not supposed to use red.
Well,
you're not?
for the liquid. You're not supposed to. You know, a lot of your hummingbird feeders. They're red though to attract them. But I
yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's attract them. Why red? Does it have to do with flowers or?
Yeah, probably.
It's
They're red and
supposed to.
yellow. But, I don't know.
It's supposed to, but it doesn't.
It
'cause
really
they'll,
doesn't. They're looking
They'll
for
get
the
nectar
sweets.
from whatever.
So do they smell it or sense it or
Mm-hmm.
what would attract them? Do you have
Sugar.
any idea?
The sugar. They can
sugar.
smell it.
They can actually smell it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it, there's their vision. They can see it's that infrared, and sometimes plants show up a different color on the infrared spectrum.
What flower?
Bees are the same way.
What flower?
They like the trumpet flowers because they hold a lot of nectar.
Fuchsia.
Okay.
They like fuchsia. They like
What was the other one?
Fuchsia.
They like
Fuchsia.
jewel weed. They like what's the other one? Snapdragons. They like bluebells. They like apples. They like all sorts of stuff like
They
that.
like apples.
Yeah.
Apple
They like
blossoms.
buckeye tree
Oh,
flowers.
so I bet there's probably a bunch of them at my orchard.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Huh. Wow.
They like all sorts of stuff.
So you
Whatever,
could-
wherever they can find it, that's what they.
And they eat bugs
and they eat
too.
bugs too.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They eat gnats and mosquitoes and.
So it's so you can attract them to your yard by planting flowers.
Sure. If you have like a butterfly garden, you'll get some. They like those butterfly bushes. They like the pipe cleaner flowers. The bottle brush flowers are really good. They like those too. We used to see them on those in Florida all the time. They're not a native Ohio species, though. If you're going to plant a butterfly garden up here, plant your native species, not the invasives. So, and there are a lot of native species that attract birds and butterflies and moths.
So the garden center would be of some help.
Sure, they'll let you know. You can ask your garden center. You can call your local. Let's see the
extension agent.
Yeah, the Ohio State Agricultural, their extension offices. You can check the Ohio USDA website. You can look at the Division of Wildlife site. There's all sorts of places to find info on how to plant and attract butterflies and hummingbirds. So.
And now is the time.
Yep.
So it's definitely not too late.
They're just coming back now. People are starting to see them more and more.
Yeah.
So it's, a lot of the birds that migrate up here, you get a cold front like we had with all the rain, they're going to lay low anyway. So they're not very active, but they will be. I know they've been seeing a lot of birds at the Cleveland Lakefront Nature Preserve, and pretty soon Wendy Park's going to be full of birds.
How long does a hummingbird
the
live?
McGee Marsh. I don't know.
Yeah, probably 4 to 6 years.
4 or 5
So
years.
so
yeah.
they migrate. So they winter in Mexico, or not
Winter
that far.
in Central America.
Central.
Oh,
and South
really?
America,
South America.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the
they
winds
fly over the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow. So so they're utilizing they're migrating with all these other birds, and using the winds to help them to go that far, or
It helps.
Yeah, it helps.
so they go
But
and
they
they don't make
fly.
it one day. They make it in stages, correct?
No, they fly over the water.
Oh, that's got to
One
be a one
Fell
time.
swoop,
Holy cow!
Some of them don't make it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Depends on the
we've
weather.
had,
And
we've had warblers land
Yeah.
on the boat.
out of
Yeah.
Lake Erie, we've
Yeah.
had that.
I
before.
did see that, and I never knew why. I just thought they were flying and resting.
Well, that's
They
what
are.
they're doing. They're
Well,
resting.
yes, but I mean
They're
that they were
migrating.
out there feeding on something and
Well,
had
they're
to
flying
stop.
across to Canada.
Okay. So I never thought of that.
And they get tired.
Sure.
And
A
that's
hummingbird to go
That's
that.
why a lot of the migratory birds fly over the western part of Ohio, because the islands are there.
Okay.
They'll
to
fly out to
take
the
them
islands
easy.
and fly out to another island and then fly across to Pelee and then fly across.
Oh.
And all along the way, you can go out and see lots and lots of birds. That's why they
So
have
would you see them on the islands?
the big birding.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You have the big birding festival out there that's going
Right.
to actually start this week. Or next weekend, actually.
Is it next weekend?
And you'll see a lot of them on the islands because a lot of those islands
Mhm.
aren't very inhabited. you
Right.
know.
They
Yeah.
have lots of trees and
See,
they nest there. And
yeah, you don't think of that,
I do.
do you?
So do I.
Norm does.
Yeah, because you
Yes,
know
we
it.
both think of it, don't
Mhm.
we, Carl?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, baby.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Some people don't.
Well, some people don't know as much about it as you do, but
Sure
is
you do.
learning it.
You just got to get your. Must be Hammy on the phone.
Uh-oh.
How could you? I hear that in the background.
Yeah, he's just
Wow,
happy to
it's-
talk to Bob.
Man, is
Mhm.
that? It's amazing. I can hear that. But yeah, it's
What?
in. It is amazing that the bird world
Mm-hmm.
and where we're at,
Mm-hmm.
and how lucky we are that we're in the middle of it, and can
We're
take.
in the middle of it.
We sure are.
Yeah.
No, it
And-
is. It's nice. It's good to. I mean, there's. Where else were they seeing? Down in Summit County, Firestone Metro Park, lots of different kinds of warblers. Nimsilla, lots of different kinds of birds and water birds,
Are you seeing much
ducks,
when you go fishing there?
loons. Oh yeah, all the time.
Really?
I have conversations with the Baltimore Orioles, and they come sit in the tree.
Yeah, you know how
above
to
me
call
where I'm
them.
fishing
Just
and, fishing, and the chickadees. I can talk to the chickadees, and the cardinals. I talk to the cardinals, and they're on conclave now. But yep.
Oh, got to take
Time for a break.
Wow, that was fast.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Goes fast.
Yeah, and Hammy's on the line. So we'll take a short break. We have a lot more to talk about on Inside the Great Outdoors, and we'll return.
If you troll for walleye, steelhead, or even salmon, you need to check out Castaway's Magnetic Divers. The release is magnetic, so if it trips accidentally, no need to retrieve it. Simply give the line slack, it sinks and resets itself automatically. When fishing is slow, trip the diver when trolling. It will come up through the water column and very often trigger a strike because you are now covering different depths. It can be set to go off to the right, left, or straight behind the boat. It comes in 3 sizes and different colors. Why not try one today? You can order them online at castaway.com. That's castaway.com with a K. You will not only improve your fishing success, but will make trolling fun again because of no more retrieving after a false release. That's Castaway's Magnetic Diver at www.castaway.com with a K.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Inside the Great Outdoors, going to the phones. Good morning, Hammy.
Harry?
Harry?
Did you say Harry?
Hammy.
Who?
This is Bud.
It's Bud Reiser.
Well, why does it say Ham? Hey, goofing
Well,
me up.
I don't know. I'm not driving a Hemi.
Oh, you're not? How are you doing?
No. Oh, I'm just enjoying this tropical weather listening to you guys.
Tropical, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you were talking about warblers landing on the boats, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
I have had, no less than 6 species of warblers when I've been fishing out in the middle of the lake during the midge hatch and mufflehead season.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And, I mean, they've landed on my fishing rod, sat there for a long time, which is what it took me to catch a fish anyway. So they were happy. But it was really neat. You know, they're hopping all over the bow of the boat and eating bugs and just having a good old time.
Yep.
And, yeah, it was really swell. And speaking of birds, I was fishing in Medina County. I don't know if I told you about that pileated woodpecker.
No.
That I saw. Yeah, it landed in a tree 10 feet from me, and it had a hole in a hollow tree.
Okay.
The sun was shining on it, and it was a perfect moment to get a good picture. But of course, I didn't have my camera.
It's always
with
the case.
me.
Oh.
You know, if you would have brought your camera, the bird never would have showed.
Exactly.
Yeah, right, Carl. Yep. Hey, we've been doing. It's a little early for it, but we've been doing well with your magnetic divers, running purple spoons and worm harness rigs already. A lot of guys will say, "Oh no, there's no way." But no, the fish are hitting the divers now. They've been doing it for about 10 days.
What depth of water are you fishing?
Well, actually, anywhere from 10 feet to 45 feet.
Of water?
Yeah,
wow.
In 10 feet. And, it's really nice having those because, they'll trip and then you can reset them.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that shallow water.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
No, that's interesting.
We've been running anywhere from 2.2 to 2.5 miles an hour, and it's working.
What size fish?
across the board, anywhere from 17 inches to 27, 28 inches.
Wow.
Yeah, and the ones that I've got are all spawned out. So,
what did it matter the time of day?
Apparently not. I think the temperature had a lot more to do with it. When we went out to 50 feet, the temperature went down to 50 degrees. We came back in toward shore, and it actually went up to 57 degrees.
Oh, that's
that's where the active fish were.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and I know Carl's got reports, but I just wanted to throw that in.
We're glad you did. That's some good information.
Yeah.
And the shoreline guys are doing well for walleyes right now also.
Yep.
At late afternoon and early evening. So there you go. That's it.
Yeah, I've seen them out at on the 55th and Gordon Park out that way fishing.
Yeah, I saw a picture that a friend of mine took, Rich Savalka. I always forget his last name, Captain Rich. He fishes with Stan the Man down there at Edgewater and East 72nd.
Yep.
And they caught a big perch that had a goby in it that looked like it was about easily 3 inches long.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got the picture that he sent me. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet.
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, so nice to hear from you.
Well, it's nice to hear from you.
Wow.
Have a good day, guys.
You too.
Thanks, bud.
Call us again.
Roger.
Yeah,
okay,
thanks for the info.
You got it, bud.
Always welcome info from folks. So.
Yes, especially you, because you know what's really going on.
We know you're a trusted source.
Exactly. Very trusted.
Well, it's not that I lie about the fish that I catch. I just remember them as being bigger.
There you
go. That's that's right.
Have a wonderful day.
See you guys.
See ya. Bye-bye. Yeah, but he gives out no BS, you know.
He's good at BS. But he's not about fishing.
Yeah. Right. No, when it
the former author of Walleye Magazine.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
That was a good magazine.
It was. Mm-hmm. And they got bought now just to take it off the market. You know, they bought it and then killed it because they knew it was good. How do I want to put this? He's got like the inside track. There's in everything, but in the fishing world, there's the general knowledge out there. Mm-hmm. But then there's the guys that behind the scenes
go the extra mile.
Right, but they know what's really happening. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people don't know about
based on experience and
right. But
knowledge
it's the good information that it's not that the fish aren't biting, it's where they are biting and what they're doing.
Right.
And having the inside track of what the general public doesn't know that's happening, which is kind of cool. So
Yep.
But I mean that 10 to 40 feet, boy, but that is right. If you're in that shallow and the diver hits a rock, just trips, goes up and give it slack and go back down. So it's a great way to be able to fish that shallow water and not have to worry about getting hung up and stop. You imagine running like 4 lines and getting snagged. Got to stop the boat.
Been there, done that.
Oh, pull everything in. And you just keep going. Yep. Wow. And say you're trolling along and you look on your graph. Now, granted, the boat is ahead of the baits. So you're trolling along and all of a sudden it gets really shallow. All you got to do is pop the lines.
Yeah, they'll come up.
And they'll come up. Wait till you go over it and then give them slack. And, boy, that would be a really good way to fish areas that are not flat, that are up and down, which is where the fish are laying. And they could be on the one side of it or on the other side. You don't know, depending on current.
Yep.
So this is a way for you to be able to fish that. And really do well, but that's why they're doing well.
Yeah,
they're
they
getting
get 'em
in
off
areas
Huntington
people
Beach over there and Gold Coast and
yeah.
Edgewater and
What's that
There's some
bottom
shallow
look like?
spots.
Is it really rocky?
some places are, yeah.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why they
Front
call
of
it Rocky
Brattonall.
River?
That's
The
why they
area?
call the river Rocky.
Because
There's
it's
a lot
really,
of rocks in it.
yeah. But I mean that whole area outside of that, isn't there? Through time, rocks are more prevalent there. Plus those high walls, of the Gold Coast, and that area tends to be more
Golden?
rocky.
Yeah.
Is it? Because I never
You
really,
say so.
I never really fished it much, or was able to see, what it's really like.
Mm-hmm. It's rocky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rocks in the Chagrin, too.
Are there?
You want a piece of this?
I'll take.
You want a piece of me?
I'll give you a piece of you. Oh, boy.
Yeah, baby!
Yeah. You like apples?
Mm,
I love apples.
I like pears.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
about you?
you got a pear,
I'm
all
a
right.
peach, baby.
Oh God. Gee whiz.
I couldn't help but unleash that double-barreled action on you, there, Holly. Pal of mine, I'm trying to take your mind off of. I'm trying to be more of a pain than your catheter. How's that?
Yeah, it's not the catheter now; it's a stone.
Stone.
The stones.
Mhm.
Oh man. But
Stone Cold. That's
Yeah.
your new nickname.
I hope this rain will let up and we'll get some
Stone Cold with a K.
stone cold with a K. Let's take a break. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors on a Sunday morning. We'll take a short break and be back.
You know, Joe, that getting stoned, this is not what getting stoned is
It's
like.
not?
No.
Oh, I wonder why they thought they said it was so good. I don't think it's very good.
No.
Give me your thing there.
Give me and put and I'll take it home.
Easy for you to say.
Whatever.
Yeah. I'll be able to eat later.
This is easy to eat. It'll slide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just having the energy to do it.
Dude. Yeah, I think so.
God, oh my gosh.
Do you enjoy a good story about hunting or fishing? Then you need to get your hands on Tales from the Trails, the real-life adventures of Castaway Coulis. Take a journey around the world with Joe as he recounts some of his best hunting and fishing trips, from Africa to Alaska, from behind the Iron Curtain to Australia. You can share in his memories through the book, complete with pictures to take you on the journey. It's a trip back in time looking through the eyes of an outdoors legend. Order your copy today on Amazon or at castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K.com. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. I have no idea what happened in the last few minutes, but everybody said it was okay. I thought we were at break. I was just resting. But nobody.
I was trying to keep it going, but
because I hate dead time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst thing in radio is dead time. I'll never forget when I used to hang out with Gary D. And we'd be driving somewhere, and there'd be dead time on the station. Oh, he'd have a conniption. Oh, man, that was like the worst thing in radio is dead time. He was he was funny. He was funny. But he was completely different off air.
Mm-hmm.
And he was sure good for my career. So was Bill Randall. And that happened by accident. I met Bill Randall because he had Swap and Shop. And I called in once and said, I have a mounted pheasant. And he called me up later, and he wanted to buy it for his father. And from that pheasant, things just went, and we'd get in. Really cool. He'd get off the air, I think about 2 o'clock on Friday, and he had a plane and a pilot because he wanted to learn how to fly. So the three of us would fly to Florida Friday after the show. And we would get as far as northern Florida, and we'd spend, it was great, in the wintertime. And then we'd fly back Sunday night and be on the air. And he'd have the pilot along so he could practice flying and have somebody, and you always have somebody there to control things. And it was a single engine. But that was neat to have. So sometimes things just happen in life that I guess are meant to be and make a huge difference in how your life goes. And having those two people. And then after that...
And now look at you.
Yeah, right. Howie Chiswick was the third person. He helped a lot. He's called... No, Gary Diao was my hero. Because I was completely different than he. But...
You old barracuda.
Yeah. Oh, he was funny. And the...
everyone listened to Gary D., I think.
Yes. Because he was in Cleveland a long time ago.
Not Liz.
No. And then left and then came back. And when he came back, he was older and different, But, yeah, he one time I was in a station and he had some kind of problems. He had to call the cops on somebody or something. So we're in a studio like this talking, and he gets up and walks off. No, it was at the boat show. That was it. That happened once, too. That actually happened twice. But the other time was at the boat show. And we're doing the thing, and he gets up and leaves. And he leaves me with it. And I was new to it. I mean, I didn't, I got to keep talking. So maybe that's how I learned how to handle it. And he would just go away, and I had to keep going. And would know he's not, okay, I'm going to leave. Just gets up and walks away. And here I am with the mic. So I guess that was good training. So.
Mike who?
Michael. Let's go to the phone lines. Oh, boy. Good morning, B.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm real good. How are you today?
Hanging in there.
I had a few weeks ago. I think it was Dr. Norm was talking about the seed oils and all of that, and because Robert Kennedy's saying things and it's a shame there's so much confusion about this. The scripture says in Genesis 29, verse 1, it says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all of the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." Now, the confusion, I believe, because the seeds, there's some that you don't want to eat, like cottonseed isn't particularly good, and rapeseed, which they call canola oil, which is what they made mustard gas out of in World War I. But the fact is, the majority of seeds are healthy and have good oils, omega-3, 6, and 9 oils. The problem is the way that they're harvested, or the oil is extracted, and or how it's packaged, shipped, and what you do with it, even if it's in the best condition. It's say it's cold pressed virgin oil, but you heat it and destroy the good quality and create bad fats or trans fats from it. So, as a rule, the oils on the shelves, they should be good if they are cold pressed, and they are not exposed to heat, light, or air, and they're not packaged in plastic but in a dark bottle, so the light can't, and you can see the expiration date. Different oils. Usually, I like to get a year or more. And I don't heat any of the oils. There's a few that you can heat that it's not going to make it harmful, and those are good to consume in that manner. But they've gotten a bad rap. It's like anything. You got to know what you're buying and be a little bit educated about what it is you're consuming and how you use it, in which case it can be good or it can be harmful. So it's kind of the sloganeering they do on the soundbite media, and people just run with this stuff. And Dr. Norm,
yeah,
I think that there is a sweet spot between the wisdom of using natural herbs and some supplements and allopathic medicine. And I wish the two could be more in agreement like they are in some countries, because we do need 90 essential nutrients. Some our body does produce if it gets the right food to produce it, and then it doesn't have a genetic dispensation to malfunction in that regard. And in which case, we do need to supplement some essential nutrients. Yeah. And they know that scurvy is caused by a lack of vitamin C, and that can be bought as a supplement. And so the problem with the supplements is the wild claims that are made, that the miracle cure claims, and this is going to cure A through Z diseases. And people are always looking for a quick fix.
Oh, I think that's true, and I think a lot of these claims are really, really false, and people are suckered into that. But
well,
a lot of these products are good, and I have nothing against them. I take vitamins myself, and I actually met Linus Pauling.
Oh, okay.
He was at our college back in, I think, 1968.
I remember Bill Randall talked to him a lot. He really believed him.
I really believed him. And he had an answer to any question you could give him. How vitamin C really helped fight the common cold.
Yeah, he was vitamin C. Yeah.
And he was a real advocate, and he told you how it worked in a cellular level. He says it's not going to cure it with everybody. He says you got to take enough, and how it works on an individual cellular level, how it combats the common cold. And, if you take enough of it at the right time, I think it works. And, after talking to him, he was like talking to the guru on the hill someplace,
Yeah.
Very, very intelligent man. So I do take a lot of supplements, and I think a lot of them work. And I think you're right about the oils. You got to, if you burn a lot of these oils, they're not good for you. And I think you got to know the smoking point of a lot of the oils. And I think some can be heated, and they're fine for you. And I think like olive oil, it should be bought in a glass bottle, and an opaque glass bottle is better than a clear one. So I think a lot of your points are very well taken. Now, a lot of these homeopathic medicines, maybe they work, maybe they don't. I think acupuncture has some good points and some bad points. But, if they work for some people, I think that's fine, and it's worth a try.
Yeah. Okay, we're up against the break, but we appreciate the call, B.
Thank you, B.
Okay, but, just one thing quick. Everything, you can check anything out and really do your homework on PubMed these days, And you could find out if a supplement has got any merit as far as any claim is made regarding it.
Yeah.
God bless you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
You too.
If you get a vitamin, make sure it says USP on the bottle. At least it's checked by a reputable pharmaceutical company.
Good. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
See you. Sure, bye-bye. Okay. And in that, we got to take a break. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. Sunday morning, we got 2 more hours to go, so hang in there. We got a lot of stuff coming that you'll enjoy.
When you wake up in the morning and the light has hurt your head,